Hi, this is Roger with the What's Not to Like channel. Today we're going to be removing this light fixture and outside light fixture and putting in a new light fixture, which is actually in this box right here. So we're going to unpack this in a minute. But before I do anything else, I'm going to head downstairs and turn off the circuit breaker to make sure that we don't have any issues. Before you get started anywhere, make sure you go down to your circuit panel and you go ahead and turn off the switch that's associated with the with the switch that you're working on. Very careful, very important to be safe rather than sorry. So make sure you get that done, and then we'll take it from there. Before we get started today, I have my grandkids that are going to be helping Keshav and Mira. They're going to be helping me with a couple of things as I get started here. Hopefully they won't have to pull me off the electrical line in case I get shocked, but just kidding. But we're taking all the precautions to make sure that doesn't happen. So Keshav and Mira. Okay, Keshav, let's unpack the new lamp to see what it looks like.
On it. What about these thingies?
All right, cool.
I'll put them right here.
All right.
Why don't we turn this one upside down like that?
Just make sure it doesn't tip over.
All right. Now we're going to have to undo the tape.
We need to cut the tape? All right.
Yeah. Now let's take a short break.
You have the plate that's actually going to be mounted on here. We'll cover that in a second here after we take it off. But right now we're actually going to unscrew these, this lamp here.
Figure.
All right, maybe we'll use the pliers on that one. Seems a little tighter.
Wait,
So let me take this one off first here.
I'll get
Oop.
pliers.
All right, let's take this one off here. This.
All right. I have pliers for you, by the way.
Okay, I think we're good.
The shark pliers are ready. Well,
Okay.
By the way, just in case you didn't know, shark pliers are not a real thing. That's just a nickname I have for all pliers because they kind of look like sharks.
All right, it looks like at least we have a mounting plate off the back of it, and we have all the pieces we need. So that's great. It's not going to be too bad putting this together. So we're going to take this apart here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to actually take this plate on. This plate is going to be what's mounted on the actual wall, and we'll put it back on once we get the plate connected to the actual box up there, the actual mounting box. All right, so we pulled all the wires out of there. You guys can see this is the black wire. This is actually the hot wire, right? This is the main the hot wire coming in. This white wire is the neutral right here, and this green one is actually a ground. So you see the little a ground piece that's tied into that. So all we need to do is take off the wiring nuts of this one right here. This is the hot one right now. We'll take this one, pull it off. That one's good. We'll take the neutral one off next. Sometimes these things are a little tight. They've been on for a while. That one comes off. Pull that one off here. So we got our both the hot one, which is black, neutral one, which is white, off of here. Now we'll take the ground one off. The ground is just to make sure you got to connect the ground one up when you have it. It's usually a green, or depending on what it's. Sometimes it's just a basic copper wire that's hanging out without any insulation on it at all. But if it's green or just a regular copper wire without any insulation, it's your ground wire. and you got to make sure that you connect that up to the ground wire in the actual unit. There's this wire here is plain copper, it's braided copper, but you got to connect that up to make sure that if somebody ever touches the outside of that and there's a short, that you're not going to get shocked. Very important. So that's pretty much it. We can just take it on out. So that's what it looks like afterward, right there. We're going to mount the other one up on there in a minute. Just want to make sure that we can fit the pieces on. All right, so looking at the existing bracket, it's not going to work here. We're going to have to take that bracket off because, as you can see, if we try to mount that light on here, it's not going to work very well. It's going to move all over the place. So we have to take this off and actually put something across there that's going to give us basically just a, we're going to mount it flush up against the wall. So that's kind of the way it's going to work right now. We'll take that bracket off. Looks like my son found that it's a couple of Phillips screws, so no big deal. We're going to we'll take those little screws off right there on each side, and we'll mount it flush. We're going to put this on right here. As you can see, sometimes you got to fool around with this stuff a little bit to make it work, because if you look at it underneath here, there's one threaded hole there for these screws on one side and one on the other side, and they don't exactly match up perfectly. So what I'm going to attempt to do is put one in on one side here and get it just enough for it to, so we can move it around a little bit, and see what I can find on the other side to get it lined up. Let me see. The other one is right there. So, or if this doesn't work, I might have to drill a hole in it, and that might look more and more likely as we work here. Yeah. Sometimes, just remember, when you come in with a plan, sometimes it works. But when you look at it, sometimes it's not perfect, so you may have to make some changes. In this scenario right here, it looks like, unless I mount it kind of crazy like this and have it totally sideways, I'm not going to have much of a chance on making it work here. So I'm going to have to take this off right now, and I'm going to have to mark this. I'll mark it with a Sharpie in a second here. So I'm gonna drill a hole in this right now here, where I lined up the piece right here. Sometimes it slides around a little bit, but as long as you have a good mark on there, you should probably be okay. All right, let's give this a try now. And we'll start putting it in on the right hand side this time. See if we can find the hole. It's right here. That's pretty good. Hopefully close enough here. Looks like we're generally pretty good here. Alright, grab a screwdriver here. So it looks like it cinched up pretty tight. And so you guys see that if I had mounted it to that bracket up there, that would have been trouble, because this would not be cinched up against the side of the building, and it would be flapping around when we finally mounted it. That would be a problem. And we'll walk through that in a second when I screw the other side in. How this actually has to be fairly tight on here and not move around too much. So we got that one in. Let's get this one in. And that's pretty good right there. Alright, so that's not going anywhere right there. You guys can see it's pretty, it fits on pretty tight there. So our next step is going to be to to put this on, which will probably need a couple of hands. But real quick, what I want to show you is that we're going to use wiring nuts on here. Most of these lighting fixtures comes with their own wiring nuts right here. So you got your one for your hot lead, for your neutral lead, and for your ground. Dropping screws here. Luckily, we don't need those. So what we're going to do is we'll take these right now, and we're going to connect the black to the black. We have 3 leads here, right? So we're going to need a couple of people to hold this thing up, so we won't be able to tape this part of it. But the black is going to be connected to the black, the white is going to be connected to the white, and the green is going to be connected to the green. And it's going to be pretty much that simple. So it's we're going to go ahead and stop right now, and we'll get back when we put it back together. All right, so you guys can see we connected up black on black, white on white, and green on green, so we're good to go. All we need to do at this point is we're going to actually shove those nuts with the wires back into the holes, just being careful not to actually scrape the wires while we're putting it behind that mounting plate, because sometimes those things are a little bit sharp, but you want to make sure that you don't like scuff the insulation, because you're going to run into some problems with shorts later on, and it might not be too appreciative when you put it back together and it keeps on blowing your breaker. So we're going to do that next. So we put one of the screws back in the side here. We're just going to put all 4 of the screws back in and mount them back up again, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put a light bulb in there, and we'll fire it up. All right, as you can see, it's cinched up. Screws are all the way back in on the side, mounting it to the plate. They're back in on this side as well, so we're good to go. Next step, let's get a light in and we'll see if it works. So now we're going to get this bulb put in there. Make sure you guys use those gloves if you have them, or something to hold the bulbs, because these kind of bulbs are pretty sensitive, and if you get fingerprints on them, it kind of strains the life of the bulb. So keep that in mind. Let's fire it up and see what happens here. All right, success. All right, so light back on the porch again, consistent light, and even a even a sensor here, so that you can leave it on at night. And if people are walking up, you can just leave it on, and it'll turn itself off, which is nice as well. So what's not to like about that? If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe. Thanks so much.